You need to outscale him.
So, on the other side then, Ziggs taken away from them. Fnatic now taking their time here for the second ban, and we talked about it already.
Exactly.
Lulu out of there.
Yeah, the Lulu pick is so annoying for Fnatic because Source is the only one playing it, and you don't want to have this AP top lane at the moment.
No, Lulu being taken away. It's actually Peke that has been playing it a lot. We haven't seen Ryu using it. Ryu does ban out the Kassadin. He said himself he doesn't feel the changes have affected it too much. And obviously yesterday it worked wonders against Gambit.
Yeah, and it seems KT Bullets, they don't want to risk Fnatic just taking it, running teleport of Peke. We've seen it so many times, how strong he is on Kassadin if he gets going. And KT Bullets, I expected Fnatic to actually ban it away because they were afraid of KT Bullets just locking it in first rotation like we saw yesterday. But it is KT Bullets who decides to ban it, and also the Ziggs. It's more, want to make sure Peke is having issues in the laning phase because he's been shaky when it comes to 1v1s, and that's where the two mid bans can come in for KT Bullets.
Lee Sin also taken away from Insect basically here, very much a respect ban on that front.
You have to ban Lee Sin. It does, however, mean that Kha'Zix is actually open. He's been playing it so much this tournament. He's been so strong on it. And the entire KT Bullets, they work around this champion because they find these picks everywhere on the map. So it is open for him, and with Elise being picked away, I expect it to be locked in.
Yeah, Thresh being banned away from Yellowstar. That play worked out very well for Yellowstar yesterday. Elise instant picked, and this is what I expected. Kha'Zix once again being picked up by Insect. He's been fantastic on it all tournament long, so why not stick with the tried and tested? And it's going to be Ryu with LeBlanc.
And it actually seems like Fnatic is in a disadvantage by having first pick, because with these bans, they take away some key champions from KT Bullets, but also first pick champions for themselves. Renekton is a first pick option, of course. Lulu is a first pick option, but they ban them away instead. And it means for KT Bullets side, they now pick up two of the best champions, and this LeBlanc in the mid lane against Peke can be very scary for him.
And we are going to see Fnatic hovering over that Gragas Peke. We saw it in the intro video, some amazing explosive caster that he actually threw out in that one. Safe choice here for him in that mid lane as well, and it looks like they're going to pick up the Lucian actually as well for Reckless, who's been big this tournament.
Yeah, and Lucian is the AD carry you want to have if you want to be good in the early game, good in the mid game, and good in the late game, because he's just such a safe AD carry, and he's providing so much burst both in the laning phase but also in the team fight. So I like the pickup, and also the fact that if Fnatic with this combo gets ahead, you have Gragas to siege, you have of course the Lucian to siege, and you have the range auto attacks from Elise as well, so you have a lot of tower pushing potential with the first 3 picks.
Yeah, we've already seen a lot of success from Reckless on that Lucian this tournament, and actually it was banned and taken away from him yesterday in them semi-finals, but right now it looks like score's going to settle for Sivir as his fallback option. Did see a brief flash of Morgana in there as well, so that's probably what's going through Yellowstar's mind, and that's an interesting one because, as has been said many times, Korea don't rate Morgana as that support pick.
It's the same as Europe, who doesn't really rate Sivir as such a strong AD carry, and Fnatic have actually been fine giving it away all tournament long. They've only played it once themselves, otherwise they gave it away, they never banned it. So for them, it's not an issue. And I know for a fact that Reckless, he loves to play against Sivir in the laning phase because he feels he can punish her early, deny some CS from her, and that's also why he's having this Lucian pick. Morgana against Sivir is not the best, it's not ideal because of the spell shield towards your binding, but we'll see if they lock it in anyhow because there's Leona.
But yeah, exactly, gives the protection against the Leona. On the other side, what are they going to finish off with here? Currently with Shyvana for that top lane here for Soaz. Obviously still looking for that support pick as well, which the Morgana, as Demon mentioned, was hovered over previously before seeing these ones locked in. What do we think to Shyvana in this top lane?
Shyvana is the go-to champion when Renekton is banned. We have seen it time and time again. You have a decent laning phase, and once you actually get the Blade of the Ruined King, you get your Sunfire, you become so strong in 1v1 scenarios. You can always duel pretty much everyone except for maybe a Trundle in the late game. So I like the pickup here. It signals also some split pushing with the rest of Fnatic being able to siege turrets. So Fnatic here, if they get ahead early on, they can put Shyvana in the top lane, constantly pushing away, and then have 4 members in mid lane. Wave clear from Gragas, wave clear from Lucian of course, and then Morgana landing bindings, setting up some good poke for the rest of the team so they can punish KT Bullets. The issue is, however, look at the lineup from KT Bullets here. Every single time a member from Fnatic is out of position, they can pop Sivir ultimate and just start rushing them down. And with this single target burst from LeBlanc and Kha'Zix, it's very risky for Fnatic unless they stay grouped.
This is an interesting counter that Leopard's looking to run. He obviously went with Shen yesterday up against Gambit. Hadn't got that Shyvana. Has Renekton been taken away from him? We'll see what champion, if that Olaf gets locked in. Dark Bindings, Cocoons, they're not going to do anything regarding when he's running at you with Ragnarok running. That's maybe what he's aiming for to get to that back line.
And also like the fact with Olaf against Shyvana, you have this true damage. So even though she's in her ultimate, she's having the extra armor, extra magic resist, you still do true damage to her. You ignore it. And also the fact that with Shyvana, you only have your ultimate as a gap closer. So if you land an axe, you can follow up with another axe, then Kha'Zix can come in. So if Soaz is split pushing far up in the lane and they catch him with two members here that have constant slow towards him, very hard for him to get away. And I feel like KT Bullets, with this pick combo, as long as they have good vision control, they will be able to catch out Fnatic, and that is going to be the key for them.
I'm going to see them moving quickly in this one as well. The ultimate coming out of Sivir with Olaf speeding in there.
Very good synergy.
Currently sat on Flash at this point. What do you think to the Flash on Olaf rather than a Ghost?
Well, standard is of course the Ghost, but when you have Sivir, you don't actually need it because you already have the movement speed buff. So with On the Hunt, Olaf is still very, very fast and he can get into your backline. By popping his ultimate, Morgana does absolutely nothing against him except for block the slow from his axe. That's the only thing. So Olaf pick here, with the rest of this lineup, they have so much single target damage. Someone will drop low instantly as the fight starts. Kha'Zix will jump in, get the reset, and he will continue going here. And if we see a lot of cooldown reduction onto LeBlanc, he will also be able to, I wouldn't say resets, but he's going to have solo cooldown late game on his ultimate, and he can assassinate people constantly as well.
We'll see how it works out for them. We are about to get underway for the first game of the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships. Kassadin was banned in this game, and I expect to see that probably going to stay that way throughout the tournament. We saw the one time it snuck through for the KT Rolster, it worked so well. Didn't work so well for Fnatic in day one though, of course, so they're maybe not going to go with that one. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get underway. Fnatic is the European representatives in this lineup, and I think it's safe to say probably home crowd favourites here in Poland are up against KT Rolster Bullets in the red side.
And looking now at the lane matchups and also the jungle matchup here, we have seen the single target damage from Insec earlier on, how strong he is when he catches out people. And if he finds out the least, they will be dueling each other. Both champions having a lot of damage early on, so it's going to be very scary for them. And it's going to actually be the one who catches the other guy first who should have the advantage. Now looking at the lane matchups, the only lane where I see a big difference could be in the bot lane. Morgana and Lucian is very, very strong, and it's going to be very hard for Sivir and Leona to actually get onto them for some good poke.
However, we do see a bit of a stack here from the Bullets. Yellow Star is going to have vision there of Score, so they know that Score is there. But do they know that the other four members of the team are hanging around? Now they're going to, as they start to come around this side. Maffa going to be the first one to go in there. Yellow Star a little bit slow to react to this one. There is a black shield to come down though. Flash was in fact used by Maffa, and Yellow Star gets away, taking away that summoner spell as well.
Yeah, and Yellow Star didn't have to use his own flash because he instantly leveled up the black shield to stop the stun from Leona here. Very smart by him. Of course, it means he has less pushing potential at the level 1, but it doesn't matter here because he survived and also forced the flash on Leona. So we could see Cyanide coming down at level 3 with the double buff for an early gank in the bot lane.
So, KT moving back. We're going to be seeing Insect starting off by his blue buff, having the help of his duo lane. On the other side, Cyanide doing exactly the same. He will be kicking things off by the blue buff and will get a helping hand from both Peke and Soaz. If you're just joining us, this of course is a best of 5 series. So 3 wins is what you need to get yourselves into the Intel Extreme Masters World Champion role for at least 1 year.
Safe start at the moment for both these teams. Of course, we did see the potential invade, but that was quickly countered by Yellowstone. As it is, the junglers are playing it safe. We're going to keep our eyes on how Insect plays this, because he was very aggressive yesterday, pretty much in Diamond's jungle. And Diamond has said himself how excited he was for that matchup, and it just didn't work out well for him.
And it's really a key thing for Fnatic if they can manage to shut down Insect's early ganks, because he's so focused on being aggressive, constantly finding out enemy targets and then go 1v1 against them on this Kha'Zix, but he doesn't farm as much as normal junglers. So if Cyanide is where he is, if he's able to counter gank him early, they can actually shut him down.
Very interesting to see if Cyanide can pull that one off. He's currently over by his red. We saw Insect already finishing his red buff off, and see whether he goes for that mid lane or towards that top lane. Peke, of course, very mobile with that body slam, and of course his flash as is in there for Ryu as well. And really interested to see if Ryu can get things going, because if we remember back to the game that he played with Kassadin against Gambit, he did far too well in the farming phase of the game. He got more than he really should have, and he was able to get rolling. If he can do that here with LeBlanc, he's going to be dangerous again.
I'm interested to see how the supports do, because Yellowstar this time around on that Morgana hasn't picked up the Spell Thief's Edge, has gone with that Door and Shield start. Again, we do see Insect. This is what happened yesterday. This is what's been happening all tournament. Insect goes on the roam, goes on the invade, and it's been catching the junglers off guard this tournament, and we'll see whether he rotates round for ganking that top lane.
I actually like the fact we have a Dawn Shield onto Yellowstar, as you mentioned, because if he's getting ganked by Insect, he's gonna be more tanky. If he's getting ganked by LeBlanc, again, more tanky. He doesn't need more poke because the lane is already in their favor. That's simply why he didn't go for Spell Thief, and I expect to see him going for Talisman now to give some more utility to the team and also to try and disengage from this Sivir.
I did see Insect taking away the white and getting a fairly deep ward inside of Cyanide's jungle, so he will spot him if he does decide to move up towards that top lane, which is quite possible as well, with Olaf putting down that early pressure there. Leopard quite far up inside of that lane, just going to throw those reckless swings in whenever Soaz gets close.
Cyanide finds Insect there, only throws out the Cocoon and Spider, doesn't land anything though. But that just tells me that neither of them really wanted that fight. They both stepped away the moment they saw one another.
And I really like, again, falling back onto Olaf up here in the top lane. KT Bullets have been having so many answers for different of all the popular top laners. Renekton, we had the Shen counter yesterday. Now Olaf against Shyvana. Very strong laning phase for Olaf because of his true damage and the fact that he will be able to outduel Shyvana. And I really like the fact that they wait with this topic and it's working for them.
Oh, Soaz moving in there once again on towards Leopard. Cyanide has come in towards his top lane, but we see the ping going straight down on top of Cyanide. So KT Bullets know that Cyanide is waiting in that brush, and as such, don't expect Leopard to go too far forward and get caught out in the end.
And there's a counter also coming out. Insect is knowing that he's in that top lane, knows that he's safe to try and gank that bottom lane. The ward is still in that tri-bush, and it did get pinged out by KT Bullets, and they don't maybe need to avoid that one in the river. It seems that Insect will walk straight into it, so they are going in towards Yellowstar. Yellowstar going to use his Black Shield to get away from that one, and does avoid the damage. Good start from both teams here.
He was forced to flash, however. They did spot out Kha'Zix with the ward, so they know he was around the bottom lane. But Yellowstar, he had to flash here, so it's gonna be scary for him once we hit the level 6 mark from Leona. He still have the Black Shield, of course, but it can still mean that they can just lock down Reckless if he's using it wrong.
And in the mid lane, actually, Ryu falling to just below half HP, trying to poke back a little bit here on towards Peke, as Insect is going to go into that Fnatic jungle. Pinged out there as Cyanide comes around the corner from the Wraith. So both junglers knowing each other's position at this point of the matches. Manfred down low, actually in that bottom lane. The Ignite was used onto him. There's not going to be enough damage for him to get a kill. We'll see if that forces them out of the lane.
And the fact that Binding actually missed simply meant that Mafia survived. Had it landed, that's why we saw the instant Ignite from Yellowstar. He would have died.
See how that pressure works out. It looks like for the moment Mafia's going to back away, which gives them a little bit of free time in this bottom lane. Reckless is slightly ahead of Score, but they are both doing a grand job at farming. You can see they're way ahead of both top and mid laners at the moment. So those AD carries doing work. Top lane, Soaz, Burnout running, keeping them pressure on towards Leopard, but Leopard quickly turning around and putting some hammer down back on towards him with that Brolaf.
Dangerous always whenever that Olaf getting lower. It's that attack speed in there. Soaz is already at half HP. Does have his ultimate available, so he can just dive away from Leopard if needs be. Both of them over at that level 6 mark right now. There's a lot of pings coming down towards this mid lane, and that's because Ryu is headed towards the top side. Fnatic know that. Soaz needs to start backing off.
Well, at the moment you do see also Peke was following up there. He actually backed away from this one. Cyanide is there. They have that ward in the tri-bush. It gave them vision. They knew that LeBlanc is still there. Ryu is going to put some incredible burst out. Does manage to catch him with the axe. Dragon Descent being used. Nice juke there from Soaz, but is it going to be enough? He's on the turret. The Repel comes out. Cyanide comes in. Cyanide! Soaz goes for a flip. He's going to go down to the Ignite. He survives! The Dragon Descent kept him alive from the Ignite.
The level up from Soaz meant he survived the Ignite here and picks up first blood. Very nice move. He had the ward down, so he knew Ryu was coming, and he saw him ganking him in there, and he just used the ultimate and the flash to kite them around, and the ignite to get the first blood.
Absolutely incredible stuff there. Also, that level up certainly helping things out. He would have died if not for hitting level 7 during that encounter. Meanwhile, we are seeing Insect working his way up towards this top lane. No kill potential there, but he'll be quite happy to take a little bit more of that farm here and get his experience going. He's currently got that blue buff on him. It's down in the bottom lane. More pressure coming in there. It's a binding landing. McCullin is going to be blocked out by Skull. Had to do that one. Maffa was critically low.
Keeping pressure on him there. Unfortunately for Sign, they didn't even get an assist in that last fight, despite the fact he was a crucial part coming in. But the invade is now on. Leopard is there, Insect's there, but they're going to go straight in towards it. Insect taking so much damage early on. Has to use that ultimate, gets the little stealth off. Is it going to be enough? The repel, where's Cyanide going to go? Insect flashes away. Cyanide's running for his life as well. But now Soaz, Peke joining the party. Ryu is there. The barrel's rolling through. Does not land on towards Leopard, but the quick belly slam does. The explosion cuts comes out. Then Cyanide gets the kill onto Leopard. Now they're chasing on Ryu. Soaz is going deep. Insect's come back in for this one. Peke fancies his chances here. Cyanide getting caught out. The cocoon being thrown out. Not enough. Peke gets the time to kill on Insect. Insect should not have come back into that fight.
And Fnatic just played this fight so perfectly. They waited for Peke to come up here after Insect had flashed out. It might not be over yet because Ryu, he's staying around.
Ryu staying around from this one, but realizes that he has to back away as the crowd chanting Fnatic's name from this one. Certainly the favourites amongst our audience here in the Sportic Arena. Well, it doesn't get much better than a start like that. It killed onto the top laner, the mid laner, and the jungler. And
look how perfect it was for Fnatic after Ryu made the misplay with the gang top. They went into the red buff because they felt they were stronger. Insect was there, he carried them around with the ultimate, but it wasn't enough for him. He dropped low, and when he actually tried to come in again for the kill, he was too greedy, and he ended up dying together with... Was it Leopard actually as well who died at the red buff? And Fnatic just punished everything KTB have been doing so far.
It's all working out well for them so far, and an advantage for Fnatic is exactly what we saw in the Counter-Strike Go tournament this morning. It gets the crowd in their favor. We saw Virtus Pro going huge and turning the tournament on its head and taking down Ninja in Pajamas, and now Fnatic, can they do the same? Because they are seriously the underdogs in this tournament. KTB is coming into this one undefeated, not dropped a single game yet. And Fnatic, well, they're starting off strong.
And that's the thing about Fnatic, that they have been hit and miss recently. Well, let's look back to Super Week, for example. 2 wins for 2 losses. Here in this tournament, dropping down early on into the lower side of the group and then fighting their way back with some great wins. So we've seen that hit and miss side of Fnatic, and a best of 5 is a long, long game. A lot can happen and change within the best of 5 itself.
And look at this very, very nice vision from Fnatic in the river, spotting Maffa actually rotating up towards the mid lane. He wanted to have a gang onto Peke because there was no flash on him, but due to very good wards, they spot him out, and he's actually just wasting a lot of time.
Oh, Peke with the barrels and the blue buff, keeping that farm going. Ryu had got himself an advantage in farm until he started that roam, and the roam's not working out for him. He's going to try and go a little bit aggressive on Peke, just getting a few basic attacks on him. Peke not being fooled into throwing any abilities out and wasting that mana though. So as in his top lane, well, he saw the dive on him, but it's kind of countered on him, and he's now got a kill and an assist. So despite that 20 CS differential, he is technically level with him. Exploit Peke going aggressive on towards Ryu in the mid lane. Is he going to pick the right target?
Oh, the silence!
The silence on the Q, the barrel rolled out, but he just couldn't pull the trigger.
But look here, Cyanide is waiting for Insect to go aggressive.
Is he going to go in onto him? No, use that stealth. Did get the barrel onto him there from Peke. It's so close for Peke getting his second kill there on towards Ryu, who having to use everything as recall. He's going to be coming back towards this mid lane. A score, and Yellow Star going head to head from this one. Nice dodge of the boomerang by Yellow Star.
And we see once again that Insect, he decided to involve his ultimate at level 6, so he's going to take less damage when he's in stealth, and also be stealth for a second longer, so he can kite around. And it's very smart by him, because it simply means when he's jumping into fights, everyone turns towards him. He pops the stealth, and then Fnatic is just running around. They don't know where he is, and he's just taking a lot of focus. So I like the fact he involves the ultimate again.
Nice bait from Score there, making sure he uses that spell shield to catch out the Dark Binding. Get himself some free mana from Yellow Star, and Yellow Star took it hook, line, and sinker. Pings all down the bottom lane. That tells me Cyanide wants to look in there. We do see the blue buff, so Insect is nearby, as is Ryu. So this is a dangerous, dangerous start from Fnatic. The Dark Binding does catch, but they're not going to follow through on that one yet.
No, can't push through from that. There's a lot of wards as well on the bottom side, as we are going to see Cocoon coming in from Cyanide, but have they got the damage to finish off? No, not quite. Again, Score able to just back straight off from that one. They put in a bit of counter pressure, but Fnatic know that there's no one coming down to this bottom lane. Insec is just coming out of the base, to be honest. They might have a good push onto this tower.
Yeah, you talk about counter pressure. We also saw in the mid lane Peke and Rio going at it. That's going to be the bottom turret gained by Fnatic. So Peke was playing a great job, defensive duties, sitting in the bush, has put himself a pink ward down as well in that bush. So they've managed to keep full vision of Rio. They knew he was over at the blue. They knew he was a potential to come down that bottom lane. And they are playing very safe in this opening game.
That is going to be one of the keys here, surely, to beating the KT Bullets, as Ryu going low once again. Actually goes in for a bit more damage on his way out on towards Peke. It'd be a disaster for him to go down at this stage with that blue buff and give that over to Peke.
Yeah, but he's having so many issues in this mid lane. He's already behind on items. The FNC is completed for Peke here, so he's very, very strong. He's very tanky, and Ryu, he tries to arrest him all the time, but Peke is doing a very good job, constantly hitting him back.
And Insect coming in once again, stood on a ward. They look like they've maybe read this one. They followed Insect's moves. They would have had, of course, the Gambit game to watch those full tour games, and they were pretty exhaustive games for sure. As it stands, again, Ryu dodging out that barrel, leaving the barrel out there. Peke really starting to keep a lot of pressure in that mid lane. Top lane, well, we haven't seen a lot of these other than that opening gank, and we are seeing some big tanky builds in the top lane. But look at this, Fnatic got a great tactical advantage taking the Dragon.
And again, look on the minimap. Look at the amount of blue wards around this river area here. Fnatic are seeing everything, and KT Bullets, they see absolutely nothing. They have a few wards towards the top side here. The ping ward from Insec, so he knows he's not spotting out here, moving towards here. Could they try another dive?
This is surely going to be danger for Soaz, but he's doing good damage here on towards Leopard, and actually he's going to push in. There is the ultimate back, actually will flash as well, but Insec on top of him, able to take out Soaz.
And they really use their advantage, the fact that Leopard can push down swords to the turret, so Insec can come up there. Leopard playing it very, very smart, getting out of the turret range here, not like Rio beforehand on the first dive, so Insec could pick up the kill.
Well, in fairness, Soaz kind of led him out there, and they were like, yeah, we know what you're going to do. We saw this one before, we read you like a book this time around. He does use that Dragon Descent, and Flash does not avoid the damage this time around. Insec does get the kill. It gives Cyanide, of course, the farm in that top lane, which means Peke has to take the blue buff on his own. He is being covered off. Yellowstar has found himself that pink ward in the tri-bush. And this is something we need to take note of, because we noticed with KT Bullets in their previous games, some of them pink wards survive for a very long time, but it seems Fnatic are actually finding them out this time.
Yeah, no doubt. Fnatic doing a great job on vision, and we can see that KT Bullet putting a lot of effort into stopping that as well, getting both a pink ward down on the out of the death bush there on the bottom side of river, and Maffa making sure that he gets a ward over into the tri-bush as well, which will actually spot out another one of Fnatic's pink wards.
And let's actually see for how long Fnatic wants to keep this laning phase going, because they do have the potential to just group up as 4 members, have Source staying in the top lane, and then just start pushing down lane after lane, poking onto KT Bullets, forcing them to hard engage onto them, and then take the fight. And if Fnatic are ahead, they should be able to win the fights, and that's definitely the way they want to play this game, but we need to see for how long the laning phase actually is going to go on.
Oh, we saw Leopard and Insect running this exact same tactic up against Darien yesterday, and it seems to be working for them once again. Ooh, Fnatic thought they may well have caught Mafra out, but he has backed to base, but it's a 2v1 in that top lane once again. Meanwhile, Fnatic try and use that pressure and try and pile it in towards that mid lane. They have got 4 members here on the tower. I don't think KT can defend this one. Next wave will surely be the tower.
So just like we talked about a minute ago, Fnatic actually decided to rotate in here to the mid lane. Insec, he's staying around, but he's still a bit far away, and Fnatic, with these 4 members, can just constantly clear up the wave. There's blue buff onto Gragas, and we actually see Leopard now moving down here to try and stop this push.
Let's see if they can stop it, and actually they might end up just going for a full-on fight. Insec going to be moving to the forefront, does get his slow out, and Fnatic spotting that one early enough, we're able to back away without losing any men or taking even much damage whatsoever. So as meanwhile, taking advantage of the fact that Leopard had gone down towards that mid lane, he's going to go some free damage onto that outer turret.
At the moment, Fnatic once again sieging out. Reckless, we've seen so many times, he's not afraid to take a couple of tower hits, but he is going to take down this mid turret. So that's the second turret of the game for Fnatic, and KTB yet to get near any turret at all. That bottom lane turret barely took any harassment. They're continuing on here, they're pushing on the inner.
And Fnatic are just playing it by the book. They force KT Bullets to start a fight here, and if they don't feel strong enough, they might hesitate going in, and we can actually see some split coordination from them.
So let's have a look down some of the items here. Both AD carries got themselves a Bloodthirster apiece and the Berserker Greaves with a single Doran's Blade. And we have already seen that Rio now finally is called to Peke on the Athene's Unholy Grail, but Peke's sat on 2,500 gold right now, so he's going to be backing off here shortly with another boatload of gold to spend.
Yeah, the Ancient Coin was also fairly late for Yellowstar. We'll see how that pays off. Of course, he's now putting up to the Nomad's Medallion, so clearly wants that talisman for his team. It's obviously the item he needs. It's just a bit later going in there. As it stands though, Soaz, he's been defending this top turret pretty well. He's keeping the farm going despite the fact he's being pushed on there, and Insect now evolving those wings as his second level.
So again, he will be able to get the resets if they can get a target down when the team fight's breaking out. The gold on Morgana is actually very important because both Talisman and the Meek Hills is going to be key items for him to either cleanse, let's say Reckless, if he's actually getting stun locked by Marfa so he can survive, and also the Talisman to counter engage or engage if Fnatic want to pick a fight or disengage from a fight.
Soaz needs to be a little bit careful up in this top lane. They realise that there may be a threat onto him. Leona's recall is going to be cancelled out, and he's going to go diving in towards Soaz, but here comes Cyanide. Not sure that they've really got the damage there with that Dragon's Ascent already used, and in the end, they just force them to back off again.
But look how strong Olaf is against this Shyvana. Every single time he can use his E onto him is a big chunk of health onto Soaz, and his defensive stats, they do absolutely nothing against it.
Well, we've talked about normally Fnatic not winning out those lane phases. They are doing well. AD carries, well, it's a slight CS advantage. Not a lot gained between the score and Reckless, honestly, but Peke has started to develop a hell of a lead over Ryu. They do see them both in this bottom lane now. Insect is making his move down here, but it seems he's going to leave them be. Peke is doing a grand job at keeping that farm going. Of course, we are expecting Ryu to start ramping that up now that he's got his mana items on him.
And what I like about the fact they moved Gragas bot lane here is the bot turret is gone for KT Bullets. So LeBlanc, if she's being caught by body slam from Gragas, he can chase her up because there's no tower to save her. And it simply also means that Ryu, he just have to clear the wave and then back off. He can't dual Peke at all. So I like the movement from Fnatic here. And at any moment after Peke pushes out the lane, he can just rotate in together with the rest of the team. And Dragon spawning here in 10 seconds, so we do have ward from KT Bullets. They have some vision this time.
Yeah, going hardcore here as we are going to see them jumping in towards Peke. Insect going to get that slow. That's a good barrel coming in, but is it going to be enough to save him? Insect popping his ultimate here. Can he finish off Peke there? Is the Solar Flare going to lock them up? And now Cyanide in a little bit of danger as well. Can't really go anywhere with that repel, but with no minions tanking up the turret is not something that the Bullets wanted to do. Fnatic have moved the rest of the team here, but that is going to be a 5v4 for Dragon.
And KT Bullets showed what a combo can do. If they catch up a target, you land the first slow, then you have the hard engage from Leona, and you will catch on to these targets, and you will kill them. So KT Bullets now getting this Dragon and getting back in the game.
Yeah, lot gained for KT Bullets there, nothing at all for Fnatic. Soaz had followed him, had tracked all the way down to this bottom, so he wasn't putting the pressure on that top lane, so no objectives gained for Fnatic in that play. Ordinarily, you can trade one for the other, but Peke simply caught napping there. And that flash and explosive cast was simply not enough to get him away from the damage.
And the fact they could actually catch out Fnatic here is simply due to the fact they stepped up the vision control. They had some wards down for this Dragon. The last one, Fnatic had all the wards in the river. This time, however, early wards from KT Bullets. They spot Peke moving up towards the Dragon and simply just destroy him.
Really nice play there from the Bullets. Brings us back now to just 1,300 gold separating these two teams. 3-2 in kills and 2-0 in the towers. So if we factor that in there and the Bullets are able to take 2 back, then they're going to be sitting decently in the lead from this one. But we get back to a bit more of a passive time as the laners just head back off there to continue farming. This top lane in particular, 160 to 185 CS. Currently Leopard has the lead over Soaz.
Keeping my eye on Yellowstar. Yes, I'm trying to get some of that vision back that you talked about in towards this top lane area. Ryu is backing away, just swept out to see if there's any wards in there. Everybody getting their farm on score, and Peke, they're pretty much keeping even down in that bottom lane at the moment. Score had pushed the lane up, and as we mentioned earlier on, doesn't have that tower, so will not stay too far, too deep. Insect is certainly the man that creates opportunities for KT Bullets, and he's looking towards the top or the mid lane.
And this is the second time we've actually seen Marfa moving up with Leona to this top lane. He wants something to happen here. He wants Source to go aggressive onto Leopard and then just counter gank and try and pick up a kill so they can also take this outer turret.
Will have to be a Dragon's Descent maybe, possibly again for Soaz. We've seen him using that a couple of times. This turret already taking a bit of a beating as well, down to half HP. But look at this, Yellow Star starting to clear out. There is a mid-air binding landing, but can he escape from the rest? The Black Shield is on him, and he's forced to flash away.
That's 5 members of KT Bullets looking to try and create a play in this top lane. We are 23 minutes in, and maybe if they'd have pulled something off, they'd have gone a brash moving towards that Baron, or certainly the top lane, but it didn't work out. That Black Shield working wonders for Yellow Star, along with a flash.
And KT Bullets have so little room to actually work on due to the fact that all the outer turrets for Fnatic are still up. When you play a pick combo, you need these outer turrets gone so you can have some deeper wards into the enemy jungle so you can chase them further. Now Rio coming towards this wave, if he uses the distortion, Peke might go on him.
And there it is, and Peke does start to move in, lands a good barrel, but not able to get any more than that. However, because of the positional advantage they've got here, they can back away. Blue buff spawning in on the Bullet side of the map, and that will be a nice pickup for Fnatic.
Yeah, taking that away from Ryu is a bit of a problem. Oh, Solar Flare, they're going for Peke once again. Cyanide is here. Yellow Star is here. It's going to be 5 on 5, 4 on 4, sorry. They're going to jump on towards this one. They will manage to get Yellow Star down. The stun will not land on Reckless. He flashed away from it. They got the blue buff, but all they did is lost the support. It's a fairly close trade, but again, KT Bullets catching Fnatic out.
Exactly, that's the issue for Fnatic here. They are staying in a little bit too long, moving a little bit too greedy, so KT Bullets are using that combo so well to catch out targets, despite the fact they don't actually have too much room on the map or too much vision to work with. Every single time, though, they find Fnatic, they actually get a kill onto them, and that's a big thing for them.
That leaves us with Insects at 2-1-0. Got that Hex Drinker in there already. And a Pickaxe. So moving up towards his last Whispers, we're going to see a Repel there from Cyanide. He's going to come straight back down in that Tribush area. And a bit of damage between Soaz and Leopard here once again, but in the end, they're just looking for towers. We've seen Score take down the outer turret in that bottom lane, and to be honest, they can probably have this top outer turret away as well because Soaz has been forced to recall.
And that is exactly what they need. It's why we've seen them having so much focus on towards this top lane to get their outer turret down, so they only have the mid one to focus on. And it also means for Source, when he's 1 versus 1 against Leopard, he needs to be careful. He's not going to be overextending, because then the rest of KT Bullets can rotate up there, land axe after axe, slow after slow onto Source, and catch him out and kill him.
Well, the game is moving into mid-game phase. Lanes are definitely long gone. 25 minutes into this matchup, and still fairly even. Just 1,000 gold separating the two. That Dragon's a minute and a half away, and those top turrets really haven't taken too much damage. Certainly so, as he's not pushed too heavily, and Ryu is laning away. Doesn't land the combo that he wanted. That will mean that Soaz is actually going to put some pokes back on towards him. He has to step away from this one, but the rest of Fnatic, they're all closing the door on towards the top lane.
They probably should be backing off from this one here, the KT Bullets. Fnatic just shoehorning themselves into that top lane, taking down the third and final outer turret. So they can start now putting down wards in the Bullets jungle, but we've seen what happened last time they tried to do that and hold some control of the bottom side. The Bullets are quite happily trying to catch them out.
Thinking about it, and Peke was also thinking about Insect down in that jungle as well. We saw him heading towards him, but they will step away. Fnatic, though, they've got to be careful they don't get caught out here, and more importantly, Score's got to be careful he doesn't get caught out, and Soaz in the top lane, all on his own. Everybody else from Fnatic has backed off. Soaz didn't quite get the memo, though, and now he's in all sorts of trouble. The silence is on him. He does have the flashback available the moment the silence is lifted, and gets away from the Zenith Blade with his speed.
And the first axe actually missed from Leopard, so he couldn't pick it up and continue going there. But the rest of Fnatic are pushing towards this mid lane. They need to be careful though, because Peke, he's down in the bot lane. He's far away in case a fight should break out. And look at Leopard here. He's trying to close in on them.
He is, but he's going to be spotted by a pink ward inside of that death brush up on the top side of the river. And we can see that Cyanide did get damaged there a little bit by that boomerang blade, but Fnatic wisely all starting to back off. Dragon is now live. The last one, of course, went over to the KT Bullets. Can Fnatic challenge this time?
And remember, there's no ultimate on Source. He had to use it to escape the gang up top with his flash. So if he's going into KT Bullets, he's going to be very, very easy for them to kill.
Oh! There you go. Explosive cask, and That is always the danger when there's a Gragas on your team, and that's certainly going to refresh the minds of KT Bullets and Fnatic. They're going to try and make a play off this one. They're pushing up that mid lane. Score's going to step aside here. Got to be careful he doesn't get caught out with anything, but Fnatic have bought themselves a lot of time on this turret, and they take it down.
Fnatic in a much better position from that one. We saw Leopard actually using that Ragnarok to get going, and actually it looks like the KT Bullets might want to make a play of their own here. Fnatic have gone north, and we can see that the Bullets moving straight in towards Fnatic's tower.
They're going to keep on rotating in towards this one. We do see Peke rolling in there. He wants to just wipe out the minion wave. The rest of Fnatic rotate round. This tower's taking a lot of damage, but it is safe for now.
And very weird rotation from KT Bullets after the Dragon. Ryu, he walked towards the bot lane while the rest of Fnatic just went straight to mid here. And he had to distortion back and try and catch up with the rest of his team, but it was too late, so Fnatic got the turret, and very nice play, and Source being caught out.
So sticking around a little bit too long. Dragon descent into the Baron. Baron's like, what's up? Not going to go for this one. He's going to step away. And of course, Soaz is safe. So, at the moment, Fnatic, they are starting to counterplay quite nicely on KT Bullets.
Simply using the fact that KT Bullets didn't react fast enough after this Dragon to get the turret, but look here, Mafa once again coming towards the top lane. There's no ultimate on Source and no flash. If the first axe is hitting, it's very hard for him to escape.
Oh, and there's a solar flare coming in. Can he land the Zenith Blade? Actually will get the stun, using his flash to get on top of him. Double slows on this one. Reckless swing comes through as well. Soaz not going to escape this time around.
And Source deciding after he actually escaped the first gank here to return to the top lane despite the rest of his team being in base, so they couldn't get any advantage by the fact that 3 members from KT Bullets went up to top lane.
Yeah, a bit of a derp there for Fnatic. They've let themselves lose 2 towers. They're diving on score in the mid lane. Has to use that on the hunt to get away, but 2 towers nonetheless for KT Bullets. Reckless starting off the Baron.
Wow, this is very ballsy play from Fnatic. There is a ward in the backside. That's going to be spotted out there as they use the scan. Leopard coming in around the side. They peel off. Going to go for him here. There is a binding landing. Good ultimate out of Leopard, but will it get him away from them here? He's got no tower to fall back on. There's the barrel knocking him back. Peke picks up the kill.
And the rest of KT Rolster are moving in towards this one. Dark Binding will land on Mappa. They do not choose to close in towards it. They've used a lot to get Leopard down. Interesting play from Fnatic there. That was clearly a quick shot call, and may well wake up KT Bullets to go for the Baron themselves.
This is risky as well. Fnatic is still around with all 5 members here. KT Bullets need to be careful.
Need to be careful, and we can see that they've started to back away from that Baron, but it might not be quick enough. Soaz getting right in there on top of them. Can they lock anyone up though? There is the damage back on towards Soaz, going very low. Ryu does go down. It's Cyanide that gets that kill. Very back and forth here.
Well, it's just suddenly turned into a bloodbath. We saw this with KT Bullets yesterday. They can get baited into these crazy back and forth fights against Gambit. And Fnatic, well, they're quite happy to do the same.
And Fnatic actually got 2 kills on this. First, when they started the Baron, Olaf came down to try and stop them. They turned around and killed him. And now KT Bullets started. They came in again and picked up another kill. So very good play by them.
Fnatic clearing out the vision on that front side of the Baron pit and on that ward there that was just put down on ramp. So currently no vision of that from the KT Bullets. And we can see that both Insect and Leopard moving forward to make sure that they do get wards down in the back of the Baron pit so that Fnatic don't sneak in that Baron. We've just seen as well that Crucible picked up from Yellowstar.
Yeah, Yellowstar has to make kill now. Simply means he can cleanse the stun from Mafa if he engages onto someone of his teammates, also providing a small heal of course, and with the Black Shield as well. So Mikhail is very, very important for him, and Talisman as well to help escape or disengage.
Soaz continuing his farm down that bottom lane, keeping the flow going. Got himself his Spirit Visage and Sunfire Cape, the same as Leopard. In fact, almost identical builds between the two. Wood Mail being the separation, and of course Giant's Belt. So Randian's Omen almost completed by Leopard. Meanwhile, Ryu nearly getting caught out by that Dark Binding with that pink ward. But Fnatic keep their vision. Insect laying in wait once again, but nobody coming up towards that top lane wave, which is what he wants. Instead, Fnatic, they're choosing the middle.
And Ryu is still very far behind in items. He's only sitting on about 600 gold. He needs the Void Staff here for the ultimate amount of damage onto someone like Source. And Fnatic didn't notice, and catching out Mafa.
Catching out Mafa, a lot of damage going to come his way. Ryu is there as well. Don't think Mafa's escaping this one. There was the ulti actually coming out from Yellowstar. And we see that Cyanide picking that one up is now on a killing spree at 3-0-0. But look at Insect's positioning. He's going to be in behind them, but they spotted him. He's gone over a ward.
Just passed over that ward. He's been actually in that top lane, waiting for something to happen, something that he can jump onto. Instead, they're going straight on towards him. He's going to have to either use that ulti to speed boost. He's already used the jump, but he's got that dark binding available in a moment. Yellow Star, oh, he's juked them very nicely there. Insect's going to get away from this one. His ultimate can be popped one more time. There it is. Oh, we got knocked sideways. Cyanide might be able to repel towards him. He gets the vision. Can he land the cocoon? Not even close.
And look at the rest of KT Bullets. They've gone down this mid lane for the turret.
That is pretty incredible, not only wasting the time so that could happen, but joining up now with the rest of his team as well. Looks like he's going to recall at that point, though. Fnatic still pushing down, and actually now moving a little bit further up this mid lane.
They started the Baron again. Fnatic have started Baron once again.
Dangerous play, because you can see the rest of KT Bullets now all up, and they're all heading this way. Fnatic quickly peel away from this one. Dragon is up in 12 seconds times, and you feel the chasing that Fnatic has done maybe is going to give that one across to the Bullets.
I actually feel like KT Bullets, they're just buying time here. Fnatic, they could have just gone 4 members up towards the mid lane and pushing, but again, they return to this Baron.
Because the Dragon is up, they know the Bullets are going down there, and they're going to try and rush straight towards the Baron. It suddenly pulled KT Bullets towards them. They saw this trick happen yesterday. They're not going to fall for it.
Insect doing that Dragon all alone, and only needs his team here to delay long enough for him to take that one and join the rest of them. There is the Dragon for the Bullets, brings them back to just a couple of thousand gold behind in this one, and Fnatic were not able to keep going on Baron.
But so much focus on this Baron for both teams here. KT Bullets, they want, of course, delay Fnatic from trying to do the Baron here, and Fnatic, they don't feel confident grouping up, sieging a turret. They want to have this Baron before they start really sieging and pushing with Soa. So it's why it's so important for them. But I actually feel like they could have just gone up with multiple members. They have the tools ready for here. And they're so far ahead. The fact there's a Void Staff onto your mid laner and the enemy mid laner is not having it is a big factor. It would mean that Fnatic would also be very strong in team fights.
At the moment, Fnatic seem happy to run around and try and get picks to make objectives rather than sieging out those turrets. We do see Blue Buff, that's going to go across the Rio. Of course, didn't get the last one because Peke did go for that invade, which basically led to the entire spree that happened eventually. The KT Bullets have themselves completely covered. They are lacking vision. They're starting to place it around the Baron pit, but in their own jungle, they are still fairly missing. We also see Fnatic's wards are starting to time out, so a lot of vision having to be purchased and sweeping lenses all across the board.
And notice though, we have 4 pink wards onto KT Bullet side, so they can place them around whatever area they decide to just deny full vision from Fnatic and then try and catch them off guard. It could be the Baron if they can push up all the lanes and get into the area without Fnatic being nearby, and then place all their wards and then wait for Fnatic to simply walk into them.
Fnatic actually, or Peke in particular, I didn't notice until now, he's 100 CS in the lead currently, and that equates to about 3,000 gold that he has over Ryu on the opposite side. Meanwhile, Leopard here and Soaz returning back towards his top lane. More wards being put down around the bottom side of the river there by Baron. Let's see if there are any more plays to be made around that one. Fnatic being spotted out here, are going to scan that one and be able to remove that ward that went down from the Bullets just a little while ago.
And Fnatic did really want to teamfight. Gragas, around this time, is his power spike. He's having Death Cap, he's having a Fiends, and of course the Void Staff, so he's having the main 3 items for him, and he's gonna do so much burst damage. But KT Bullets, they just refuse to teamfight them. They constantly kite them around and just delay the game over and over.
The battle for vision control continues around that Baron pit. Insect once again off on the side. He's going to jump on Yellow Star. Stealth's in there. Gets a burst damage. It's not going to be enough. Quickly pops his ultimate. Insect will not be able to jump away from this one. He used it at the start. He is stealthed up. Gets caught out by the Dark Binding. Has he got enough? Does manage to flash through, but Insect goes down. The Fnatic might try and make a play from this.
They're actually going to push in there. Barrel comes out from Peke as well. Leopard going to go from around the side. Actually does have his Ragnarok if he needs that one. He's held off on it for this point, but you have to give so much credit there to Yellow Star, managing to hold Insect entire time, landing the binding there at the end as well. Fnatic going to start moving over towards Baron again.
Jungler down. They want to go towards that Baron pit. There's no smite available, and really not a lot that can steal this one. KT Bullets are going to have to fully engage if they want to get for it.
There's still 4 members members for them. They have the ultimates ready and they're going for it.
They are going to push in from around the side as Ryu comes in there first over the top of the wall. Yellow Star goes low. Solar Flame not doing the damage that they needed to. Not looking up the right people. Leopard gets one on the top. Soaz is low. Flashes backwards though into his own side of the jungle. Cyanide is going to be low. Ryu comes in once again. Reckless goes down. Cyanide is going to repel, but where's he coming back? Straight back on top of him. Double kill for Score.
And Fnatic, they didn't have the ultimates here. Morgana ultimate was down, the Culling was down from Reckless, and of course the ultimate from Pekka was gone. So KT Bullets, even though they had 4 members, decided to go in and fight, and they won it. Very greedy move for the Baron here from Fnatic's side.
And if we manage to get a replay of that, check out the boomerang blade that Score does right at the start. It went across 4 members, full there and back, and shredded them down in health. So as coming in, they are low on health. Mafa is pretty low. He may be able to try and pick him off, and that's what he's going to go for. Baron is also very low. He does get Soaz. Can he get in there? He's going to try and steal this one out. He's got Dragon's Breath available, but he's surely going to knock out Smite Insect. No, he doesn't. Insect does manage to get that one out. Soaz is going to go down. It was a worthy try. He had to do something, but the KT Bullets have Baron.
And now KT Bullets, they are in the gold leader now. Check this replay out here. They're going here. Everything is popped on the hunt, and notice this boomerang blade onto multiple members of Fnatic, and then notice Olaf, how strong he is in this team fight. You cannot lock him down with any CC. 3 members onto him, and he still picks up a kill onto Pekka. And meanwhile, the rest of KT Bullets just staying down here in the back, focusing on trying to kill Source, and they come in afterwards to clean up.
Score absolutely ripping them to pieces from that one as well. And let's not forget, Score managing to get himself the triple by the end of it, flashing over the wall. Boomerang Blade did manage to catch out Yellow Star for the kill. They're level on kills now, and actually only 1 turret behind, having a 1200 gold lead, and that Baron buff on for the next minutes.
Yeah, and let's not forget, that all began with Insect getting caught out and Fnatic turning on. They thought they got the advantage, but you mentioned it. They burnt a lot to try and get Leopard. Leopard just walked away, didn't need to use Ragnarok, and was able to use it coming into that fight. And Fnatic not quite reading the cooldowns as they may well should have. And they've turned their advantage, potentially, that they had into a serious disadvantage against this KT Bullets team that are starting to look very solid.
Yeah, the late game potential of the KT Bullet lineup is so strong. We saw Olaf in the last team fight, tanking 3 members, still picking up a kill, speeded up by On The Hunt from Score, who's being very good this game. And of course, LeBlanc finally having the Void Staff, so she's gonna have a lot of burst now, even onto someone like Soas.
Dragon is up in less than 10 seconds time, and the KT Bullets took that last one. Let's not forget Insect soloing that one out, and we'll see if they can get it here once again. Couple of men from Fnatic down by this bottom lane. Well, the KT Bullets actually coming around the side. They're gonna try and catch out Cyanide. He's in a horrible position as of now. Repel will actually bring him down behind the tower though, and that is gonna keep him safe. Will Fnatic turn this one around?
And the binding from Yellow Star meant that Mafa couldn't get into their face, he couldn't actually engage, so that's why they couldn't pick up any kills here, despite Source being open at top lane, but he's with the team now.
KT Bullets still did not fancy that one. They had full control, the Baron on, but they really didn't want to engage on that turret. Instead, they're going to take that Dragon, fine objective control. No need to rush. They picked up the Baron off really a misplay, I guess you could say, or a great play from the Bullets, whichever way you want to look at it. It was not a complete domination. They know how close this game still is. There was no reason to go crazy and dive in onto it.
We did see, however, how easy it was for Fnatic to clear the waves. Despite only being 4 members, with Gragas, with Lucian, you have so much wave clear. Elise provides some as well, and of course the Morgana. So it's hard for KT Bullets, unless they catch someone out beforehand, to actually get these turrets down. So we might see them just walk inside Fnatic's jungle, ward up everything, and deny vision, and wait for Fnatic to make a move, and then catch them out.
So back into farming here. Insect pushing out that bottom lane. Reckless actually just doing the golem. Cyanide is there with him as well. There's a ward in that brush for the KT Bullets, so they'll see them coming around from that one. Ryu also stalking through the jungle at this point, trying to find someone, but Fnatic got their own line of wards inside of their own jungle. As Cyanide here is going to put down some good damage on towards Insect. The cocoon did land, but I think they're a little bit scared of going further in from that one. Olaf's not actually with the team, so they're going to outnumber them here.
Yeah, if Fnatic could actually had the engage here, they would have been able to take a kill or two, because Olaf was far away. Zero was also in the mid lane, just pushing down the wave.
At the moment, Fnatic just playing defensive, trying to make that Baron buff timeout, which is, I'm trying to look and see whether it has actually timeout. I'm just going to take a view. I can still see it's in Ryu, so he's not gone just yet. It's going to have like a minute left with it. And It's not too bad for Fnatic in that sense because KTB haven't been able to do anything. They've obviously put pressure down. You can see by the amount of wards across Fnatic's jungle just how much pressure they've tried to exert on towards that bottom and middle turret, but it just hasn't worked for them.
No, Fnatic have been doing the right thing, just staying as a group at your turrets. Don't walk into your own jungle, don't risk fighting for a dragon or anything. Don't give KT Bullets any chances to catch you out. So that's why they've simply just been wave clearing and playing it safe. And the Baron is gone now, so let's see if they feel confident trying to push out, or they just wait for KT Bullets to come towards the turret and then start a fight.
And a couple of big items coming out there in the meantime for the Bullets as well. Warmog's armor now is on for Leopard. He has got a lot of health at this point of things. We also saw a Guardian Angel for Score, so he can be a little bit more aggressive when it comes to getting in the mix in the fights.
Yeah, Score actually decided to sell his Quicksilver Sash and buy the Guardian Angel instead, so he didn't want to go for the Zephyr and sell his boots yet. Simply just wanted the Guardian Angel. In case he should be caught, he will of course revive up and he can continue damage.
Peke also got that Guardian Angel on. The tanks continue to get stronger along with that Warmog. The Leopard is going to be a very much a movable object piling down one of those lanes, and he will be getting on towards Reckless, and that's going to take Reckless's damage possibly away from the fight. We'll see how it affects them as that next team fight seems to be developing in towards his top lane.
And now two very good wards here from Fnatic, so they actually spot out KTB rotating around their blue buff. There was no other vision except for the ward at the big wave. So let's see here, KT Bullets trying to push down, but instantly the wave is gone. And KT Bullets, they actually have to wait for the next Baron, get full vision control around the area, start it, and have Fnatic trying to come in and stop it, and then catch them out.
1.5 minutes until that Baron does come up. Insect just trying to cause a few problems inside of the Fnatic jungle, and actually he's going to dive in towards Peke from this one. Peke is forced to flash away, threw down his ultimate as well, which is now obviously not going to be up and available for them with just 1 minute until Baron.
And fast rotate there, fast rotate. Fnatic quickly having to try and counter this one. KT Bullets have got themselves, but look at that, the wave clear is so strong from Fnatic, but they're going to go in towards this one. Ultimate use from Yellowstar does not catch anyone. We do see the Cullen coming out, it's going to force them away with that on the hunt, and that's how quick KT Bullets can disengage.
So they decide not to take the fight here. Peke actually had to use his flash before because the body slam didn't go through the wall, and it simply means for him now, for next team fight, there is no flash, and Baron is up in 30 seconds. It's the key thing for KT Bullets. It's where they can actually decide to fight.
So Cocoon and Binding's been thrown out there, not catching anyone. Leopard gonna come forward. That's a brilliant solar flare. They weren't so quick to react to that one though, the KT Bullets. They just wanted to force Fnatic away. Good slow across pretty much the entire team from the undertow of Leopard. And now Insect gonna push his middle wave out. Bullets need to stick around here. Can't afford to just leave at this point.
Yeah, there's 5 seconds on the Baron, and the waves really aren't pushing in KT Bullets' favor, so they realize that Fnatic could logistically shove one of the waves up, which is what Soaz is doing. He wants to push that one towards that top wave, which means some of the Bullets has to react to it. They do have themselves a pink ward still on that Baron pit, so they know that Fnatic are not there yet. But that advantage they gained from taking the Baron earlier on has disappeared.
Look at this sneaky play from Insect. He actually went all the way through the mid lane, down and took Fnatic's red buff. After the fight, Fnatic, they had to recall, and some of them stayed around this Baron area to make sure KT Bullets didn't start it. He just walked straight down the jungle, took the red buff away from them, and actually left the small minions as well, so it's not gonna respawn.
So again, more wards from Yellowstar this time. Clear out using those sweeping lenses as well, and this is the war almost at this stage of the game. Who can hold vision for the longest? So that pink ward is unfortunately just around the corner there, so can't actually see that ward that Fnatic have on the Baron.
And the sweeping lens missed the ward as well, so they don't know there's any vision from Fnatic's side. And this ward, they will stay there.
Oh, they are going to jump over the wall there on towards Soaz. The binding comes flashing through, but that doesn't connect. Insect is going to jump over. They're going to go for Soaz here. Can they actually finish him off? He does have his ultimate available. Actually, Insect did use his ulti there as well, and they decide not to keep chasing. Very tense stuff here.
At the moment, KT Bullets are trying the best. They're trying to get a pick, trying to create something. The speed and the dash that they just saw there from Ryu and Insect combined means they can pick someone off. If someone gets separated from Fnatic, like Reckless in that mid lane, they could pile on towards him, and that's what's been working for them so far. But the Baron being started off. This time they're taking it to half health. Cyanide knows he has to stay close by. The Mappa catches on towards him. Soaz jumps in the middle along with that explosive cast. Mappa taken very low for this one. Yellow Star Ultimate's going to run. Ryu taken so low off the side. Ignite's running. He will take him down. It's Soaz that gets himself the kill, but Score took down Soaz in the process. Leopard running away, but Cyanide's on him. Look at that. The boomerang play comes out. Mappa not managing to land the Zenith play, but the rest of his team are not with him. Instead, he just uses the Baron. The Baron will put a hit across towards Cyanide, but he is safe for now. Insect staying just off of the side. Really wants to try and get someone out the back there, but they live to fight another day. How similar is this to Fnatic Gambit versus KTB?
Very, very close team fights. KT Bullets actually staying around. They finally have sweep lanes on the ward, cleared away now, so it's gone. But the team fight here, Source, he was so strong. He went on to Ryu, who actually managed to pick up the kill. So it was the tides were turned here. Olaf dropped low, had to run out of the fight, while Source stayed in, tanked multiple members, and picked up a kill as well.
And the Dragon also finished off there by Fnatic, and that brings them to just 1,000 gold behind. They're still ahead in turrets at 4-3. Kills all tied up here as well. We've just seen an Infinity Edge finished off for Lucian and a DFG now for Peke's Gragas.
The Thornmail was also picked up by Soaz, which is maybe going to cause a few problems for Score. Not too much though, because he's got that much damage. He'll just pile through it. Nevertheless, I think he should be okay with the lifesteal. Leopard's going to be starting off that blue buff, and Ryu is coming in there, which means they're a long way from this one, but there's no vision to tell Fnatic of that one. Instead, it will clear it out. The stacks, the waves, everything being pushed up. You can see the wave along the bottom. That's been pushed heavily up by Fnatic, and that's going to continue. The slow push will slowly turn around. So as he's trying to keep that top wave shoved in as well.
And Fnatic, they felt safe going in here, clearing the vision from KT Bullets side, because two members was down in here in the bot lane to clear the wave and also pick up the blue buff. Meanwhile though, KT Bullets, a little bit split at the moment, but they want to just go inside this area once again and get full vision and then force Fnatic to face check them more or less.
Again, throwing every kind of snare that they've got in the way of the bullets and hoping that they can catch one of them out. There's some pings down by the Wraiths here, and I think that's a case of where is Insec at this point? Where is he going to be waiting for us? We've seen traditionally in these fights so far that he has been behind Fnatic in some of the cases and inside of their own jungle, so we'll have to see about that one. Right now though, Insec is pretty much with the entire team. We can see that after that little push in from the bullets, how many wards they've got down. Fnatic just decided, okay, they're inside the jungle somewhere, let's just go up mid.
And I absolutely love the ward in the mid lane from Fnatic. Made him spot out Insect because, as you said yourself, he's constantly moving in behind them, trying to be as annoying as possible. So they left some wards behind, some vision, so when they rotated up, they could always see him.
Damage onto Maffa, but no follow through on that one. He realised that the other players were around there, and look at Insect's position again, this time around by Fnatic's blue area. He wants to push up this wave because let's not forget that they were already on towards that turret just a little earlier. As Ryu not going to go in on towards yellow, so I was going to say Peke was just around the corner.
And look at the bot lane here, it's pushing in favor of KT Bullets. It's going to be a massive wave building up, pushing down towards Fnatic's turret. So as long as they can keep Fnatic around this mid or Baron area, they won't be able to go down and clear the wave. And that's a way for them to keep pressure by simply slow pushing one of the lanes and force Fnatic to be elsewhere.
Yeah, that may need to give up the vision. KT Bullets don't have a great deal in that river area. It is all Fnatic currently. They have that singular buff ward around the blue buff area, which is maybe giving them the information they need. But we heard, if you've maybe checked out Diamond Prox, of course, they saw the backdoor from KT Bullets, and he said himself, we just simply didn't think of going for those blind ward spots when we had the advantage. And Fnatic, that's going to be in their back of their minds. They saw the sneaky tactics that Maffa called out. Peke going to go roll down there, one single barrel, that's going to wipe out the entire caster minion white wards, which will keep them at bay. And KT Bullets, this time they're starting to sweep.
Yeah, look how they're moving. Instantly at the spot, Peke, they move inside the area to clear some wards. And again, Insect jumping onto Source.
Yeah, so that's pretty beefy at this point as well, after that Thorn Mail that we mentioned earlier on was completed for him. In fact, got about 340 armor at this stage of things. There is Peke at the front as well, but barrels not going to be quick enough to roll in and take out score. Fnatic, in the meantime, are going to once again go towards the wards. Insec actually coming on towards Soaz, binding, landing on towards Insec. Well, Soaz forced to use his ultimate defensively to get away. They turn around, Mappa going to go low. Solar Flare does come down, but doesn't land on anyone because of the repel from Cyanide. Mappa has to back off. The culling cancelled out there by Reckless. Will they turn around and fight? Because Insec is chasing down.
A very split fight right now. Insec just dodging out of that one. The explosive casket pins him to the wall. It's still not quite enough damage here. And KT Bullets continue to chase Peke. Guardian Angel has been popped. But we do see Insec going down. Reckless was also taken out. It's a back and forth fight. Mappa's so low, but he's going to get away. And KT Bullets will be taking the mid turret for all of their damage.
And these split team fights are absolutely perfect for KT Bullets. They want to always catch out targets, chase them down. So for them, it's perfect that the fights are this split.
And they're getting them one by one here. There's a binding landing onto Ryu. Actually, it was his mimic, so
fake Ryu.
A fake Ryu, one of them at least. And there's the inhib turret going down. They're not going to be able to stop the inhibitor itself being picked off. The question now is, will the bullets go off towards Baron? 3 men are up from Fnatic, long spawn timers. We are 52 minutes into this game already.
A great tactical split fight there, and that maybe just showed where Morgana can fail. If you don't land that Dark Binding, it can be crucial.
But notice this here. They forced the ultimate from Source instantly as the fight starts. It's very, very important. Meanwhile, even though they're chasing 2 members here with score, the remaining members of KT Bullets are fighting elsewhere. And the fact that Mafia can actually get out and survive simply also means that they can just continue chasing. Insec, he's actually 1 versus 2, and he's winning it out. Meanwhile, we didn't actually get to see it in replay, but Reckless, he was caught all the way up around the river in the mid lane by Ryu. He died, and then he could return down to his team and just continue chasing. And again, if you have Olaf, if you have the likes of Xavier, you have so much utility to provide, and you can always try and catch out targets.
It's exactly what they did to Genji yesterday. Ryu found him out, insta-popped him, took the AD carry down, piled on in there, knew they had that big advantage. And of course, at the 53rd minute mark, those AD carries put out so much damage. Once he goes down, there is a giant hole in the Fnatic defense.
We have to remember though, even though the mid lane inhibitor is down, it's very easy for Fnatic to stay around this mid area and always clear it out and always be able to move into the Baron area if KT Bullets are starting it. So they can just do what they have been doing for the last 10-15 minutes and just wait for KT Bullets to then get full vision control and then try and fight again. This time though, if they can actually group up, it's going to be a lot easier for them.
I just wonder at what time these teams are going to start really respecting Insect's Kha'Zix, because it creates so many problems. We saw it against Gambit, and now we're seeing it once again against Fnatic. They have to start thinking of a ban towards it, or maybe just something that's going to counter it hard.
Yeah, I think the problem for them is that who's gonna, I mean, if you're gonna use a ban, you leave something else open there, and especially when the bullets are on the red side and get those 2 picks at the start of things. Here we go once again. Baron is gonna be kicked off by the bullets. Fnatic have no vision, and the Baron is falling extremely quickly. Down to less than half HP already. Fnatic need to get a move on here, or this one's gonna be gone. They're not gonna be quick enough. Bullets pick up the Baron, and they're gonna go in for the kills.
On the hunt being used, Yellowstar's gonna get pursued. They do look like they're disengaged just about the right time there. They're going to catch out Yellowstar. He's going to go down. That's going to give them possibly the top tower as well. They can sweep around and take that one. And the KT Bullets are looking strong here in game 1.
And the very good vision control from KT Bullets meant that Fnatic, they didn't feel confident going in there, trying to pick a fight. So it was an easy Baron for KT Bullets. And finally it pays off for them.
Oh, Insect actually diving in here. He's going to take some damage back for his troubles, but won't really matter to him. That regen, getting him back up to health. We've got Olaf having the Guardian Angel on now, and it's pretty hard to kill this Olaf. He's got about 5,000 hit points, and then you've got to do it all over again. They are going to lock him up here, where you can see that the bullets just ignore it, going straight in towards Peke. Mappa is actually going to fall, but they do get the kill on towards Peke. Leopard still chasing in. That GA is going to bring him back up here as the turrets do take him down, but the rest of the team just ripping through the rest of Fnatic. Cyanide is going to go down. That's a triple kill. This is game number 1 of the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship Grand Finals. Going over to the KT Rolster Bullets.
Fantastic performance by the Bullets. It took them a while to get going, but Insect, he's just jumping in their faces. It causes Fnatic to panic, and Score is at the back just cleaning up. Ryu don't even look like he was bothered with that game. He's just thinking, that was a bit easy, didn't work out. It was a 55-minute game. Let's not discount Fnatic in this one, because they put up a solid performance in the lane phase, but a 7-0-5 score. The unkillable, I remember him back in the summer of OGN, was untouched for so long. And again, he started off these finals in grand form.
And Fnatic, they simply didn't have the combo to fight against this very pick and very single target based combo from KT Bullets once we got to the late game here. We actually saw Fnatic being ahead.